Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, coming back to you guys with another video, and right from the start, guys, I'm going to apologize for the big void here in the time that I'm posting videos. I know it's been such a long time. Um, I'm a business owner, guys, and I work in retail. My business is retail, and this time of year is fortunately the busiest time of year for me. And my work weeks go from 45 hours a week right up to right around 55 to 60, sometimes even 65 hours a week. And actually, last week I was right around 67 hours in. So a lot of time there that's just kind of taken up by the business, and it's just stuff that I have to do to put food on the table, pay the bills. And I do realize that that's causing a large delay in my ability to be posting these videos. It's not really the posting that's the problem, it's the editing. The editing really does take hours. Like for a Journey to Vegas video, I'm looking at 2 days of editing. It's just the way it is. It's tough. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, guys. I love it. It's very, very therapeutic for me, and I miss it. I actually, a few days ago, I found myself at work saying, geez, I really miss being there and working on what I consider like a story, even like a regular, just a live play, just that kind of like story type of thing that you get into when you're in the editing mode, but more so with the Journey to Vegas videos, because it is really like a story. You're piecing everything together, and it's really quite fun, and I do miss it. So I really do apologize for the delay. Don't think that I'm doing this on purpose. I'm really not. I really do enjoy posting these videos for you guys to see, and most of all, I enjoy communicating with you guys. I love talking and answering all you guys, and I like to think that I do reply to every comment. But YouTube is kind of weird in that they'll give you a notification for somebody posting on your video, but that notification is for like 4 different comments. So I might miss a comment here and there, and it's really not my fault. I know it sounds kind of weird to say that, kind of cliche, but it really isn't. I do try to comment and or reply to everybody's comment, and if I miss you guys, I'm really sorry. Maybe just send me a nudge or something. Say, hey, fucking reply. Easy as that. Anyway, so a little channel update, guys. First of all, I'm removing the intro to all of my live plays. Back when I first started doing these videos, the camera that I was using there was like camera glasses with the spy camera right in the middle, and like these were like these Chinese version of spy glasses. They're not the eye views that I normally would use, and they were just horrible quality. I wasn't getting subscribers, but that was fine. I'm not in this for subscribers, I'm in this to. At first, it was all about, just as like a data bank for my own self. If I ever wanted to go back and watch a particular slot, I could go onto my YouTube channel, check out one of the videos. But if I may have forgotten about it and wanted to play it again, I would have that video to kind of, recollect. So it started off as that. But I did start getting a few subscribers and a lot of people that were making suggestions to try to make the videos more popular. And many of those suggestions were to have an intro. So I started working on it right away, and most of you all know the intro that I had on there was a 30-second intro, which was quite long. And that was the complaint for the most part. So after speaking with a few people, I decided to remove the intro altogether. I will keep the intro for the Journey to Las Vegas videos and the longer videos, but it doesn't really make sense, and it's not very practical to have a 30-second intro on a 45-second live play. Half your video is an intro, and I do apologize for that, guys. Like I said, I've done that with the best intentions. I didn't mean to piss anybody off or to make the videos redundant and boring for you, or having you guys click on the screen to the 30-second point just to get to the video. So the intro will be removed altogether, except for the longer videos. If I'm going to be posting a video that's over 15 minutes long, I'll put a 30-second intro, okay? And that's just something you have to deal with. When you go on TV and you watch your favorite TV show, you always see the intro. So I think that the intro was a good idea, but not in the way I implemented it. So it will be there on the longer videos, kind of as just something to recognize my channel by, okay? And we'll leave it at that. So no more intro on the live play. So that's some good news for you guys who were really concerned with that long time. Now, another thing I'm going to do in this video is Oh man, after looking at all the comments that I wasn't able to reply to, well, I did reply actually. For the last 10, 15 minutes here, I've just been catching up on replying to different comments. And I thought I'd do something fun here. I took 12 questions that were asked either through direct messaging or that were left on the videos themselves that people were asking questions. And I took 12 of these questions and I'm going to answer them here in this video. Some of these questions are pretty funny, and some are pretty, well, legit questions. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to answer them, and I'm looking forward to doing this. So I hope you guys got about another 10-15 minutes, because you know how I like to rant on and stuff like that. So the first question I got is apples or oranges. I don't know why somebody would want to know that. For me, oranges all the way. I do like apples too, but I'll eat a heck of a lot of oranges first. Second question is your favorite slot. Now, I'm kind of torn up on this one. I think most of you guys know that I'm a sucker for the Walking Dead 1 and Walking Dead 2 slots, and they are both up there, my top 1 and top 2. I think I would sit at Walking Dead 2 before sitting at Walking Dead 1. If you would have asked me that 6 months ago, I would have said Walking Dead 1, simply because I love the bonus wheel. I find that just so intriguing and so, oh, it's just so fun. Walking Dead 2 don't have that, but Walking Dead 2 does have a lot of other features, and it has a shitload more potential for hand pays. I don't think you can get a hand pay on like screwdrivers on Walking Dead 1, yet you could get a hand pay with squirrels on Walking Dead 2. Simply because of that right reel that gives you that multiplier. If you get that 25x multiplier with even the squirrels, you'll be getting a hand pay there. Well, no, I guess in Walking Dead 1, if you got screwdrivers like on every single little reel, like the little ones, you know, you would get a hand pay. But I don't think that would ever happen. But again, it's RNG. So RNG to me says anything that can happen will happen. So you never know. Anyway, Walking Dead 2 is, for me, is going to be the better slot and my favorite slot overall, simply because it does have that more potential without having to say, oh, you need the squirrel on every single cube on every reel. So Walking Dead 2 it is. Favorite casino. If you would have asked me this before I went to Vegas, I simply would have said my local casino, because it's really all I had. It's all I knew, and it's sad because I'll never go to that casino again because I'm getting screwed over there. My favorite casino right now is the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful casino. The payback percentages based on my play there for the week was very, very good. It was quite good, actually. And the staff and the elegance, and more importantly, how they treated me ultimately was my deciding factor. I mean, the comps, oh my God. I mean, when we go back, we're going to have a week on the house, a limousine to and from the airport. All our meals are comped, all our drinks are comped. If we want to go anywhere on the strip, they're going to pay our transportation, free shows. I mean, come on. My local casino, I'm not sure if I have a thing here. No, because I think I shredded it up. I play a lot more in my local casino than I do in Vegas, obviously, or I did. And for my amount of play, I get $25 in free play and a free buffet. That's what I get for comps. And they send you these cards every month with, depending on your level of play, your discount on hotel rooms. Well, if I was to call Casino New Brunswick right now with one of those discount codes, they won't let me have the room. You got to call like a month in advance. I mean, it's so stupid. Casino New Brunswick, you're doing it wrong, and you lost a great customer in me. So what I'm going to do from now on is, rather than go to my local casino a whole bunch of times, just going to save my money and just keep going to Vegas. I'm going to do it that way. Because one, I get treated better. Two, it's cheaper. It's a heck of a lot cheaper, because at my local casino, I say local, but it's a 6-hour drive to make it happen. Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere. So a 6-hour drive, so you're talking gas, fuel, the hotel, because like I said, I could never get the discount codes when I want. And the hotel rooms are like $179 a night at my local casino. And if I try to get a hotel anywhere else in the city, it's just as expensive. So if I was to stay there for 7 days, I'm looking at over $1,000 just in hotels. The Cosmopolitan is going to be comping my 7 days. So I mean, in the end, it's going to cost the same or be cheaper because remember, I got to pay for meals when I'm at my local casino, but they're all comped in Vegas. My transportation within Vegas is all comped. Plus, the Cosmopolitan just sent me an email saying next time I go back, I'm getting $1,200 in free play. So $1,200 in free play can go a long way. So I've never gotten anywhere near that at my local casino. So Casino New Brunswick, that's a black eye on you, and you lost a big customer to me. So I'll probably have a separate video talking about the differences between your local casino and Vegas casinos. You guys will be very surprised to find out just how much you would be saving if you make a trip to Vegas. Okay, so anyway, I ranted there a little bit. That's what I was talking about. I hope you have 10 to 15 minutes, because me, I don't fuck around. All right, here's kind of a weird kind of a question. Trump or Clinton? So I'm guessing Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Guys, I learned at a very young age not to talk politics. You just tend to lose friends that way. You know, because everybody has an opinion, and sometimes they're very, very strongly believed in those opinions, and they kind of feel offended when somebody talks bad about their beliefs or what, you know what I mean? Like, so I just tend to kind of stay away from politics. That does not mean I don't have my preferences. I do have my preferences. I just don't tend to voice them. I mean, I have morals. I have things that are important to me, and I like to think of myself as an educated fella. You know, I am university degreed. I have a business. I do know how the world works, or I like to think I do. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know, but I am Canadian. So Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton doesn't directly affect me, although it can indirectly affect me, you know, via trade agreements between Canada and the United States, with the biggest one being oil, of course. Canada does supply oil to the United States, especially coming from Alberta. A lot of the pipelines, I'm not going to get into that. Like I said, I don't want to upset anyone. But here is my, I don't want to say my opinion, but here is my advice to anyone out there with politics and government, whether it be federal, local. Don't depend on your government to make any changes for you, okay? I was always a big believer in getting things done yourself. If you want to see a change in the world, be the change that you want to see in the world. And just by changing certain aspects of your life could make the greatest of differences in the positivity of your life. Not complaining, for example. Go through maybe 2 or 3 days without complaining. You're going to see an immediate response in your life. Everything's going to be more positive. It's a mind thing. Trust me. Like, be the change that you want to see in the world. Don't ever rely on government or one person to make these changes for you. It's not the way to do it. My town that I live in was hit very hard in the last few years. We lost all of our industry. We lost a paper mill. We lost a power plant. We lost a chemical plant. We lost our woodlands. We lost 1,000 jobs. The community went upside down. We lost a lot of our population. What we're doing to fix that is we're collectively coming together to make changes in our community, because we can't rely on government. The government does not want to invest in an area that's tits up. It's just not going to happen. So when you vote, in our case, an MLA or an MP, member of parliament, we think that voting them in is going to make a change. And it might possibly make a change, but don't rely on them to make a change. Don't vote with the intention that your vote is going to make them change. Okay? Be the change that you want to see. So, Trump or Clinton, whether you're Trump or Clinton, I love you, man. Hug your opponent. Be kind to one another and be the change that you want to see in the world, okay? So there's my answer on that. Sorry, I went ranted on that one too. Here's a pretty personal question, but like I said, I'm going to answer them. What do you do for a living, and how do you afford to bet so much and so big? I won't tell you exactly what I do for a living. I used to be pretty popular on YouTube on another channel. A former business that I ran where my face was out in the public, and I was very well known in Canada, and people knew what I did for a living, and the people that didn't like my videos or like me for whatever reason made my work life a living hell. Now, For that reason alone, I'm not going to say the business name that I own. I will tell you that I do own a business. I'm the sole owner of that business, and it's a retail business. And it requires me to travel a lot, as the business is not here in my town. I have to travel. And it is a brick and mortar business, and I also work online as well. So my work weeks are long. Now, the second part of the question is, how do I afford to bet so much and so big? Now, I know it might sound like, or might look like I bet a lot of money because we put videos up so frequently. People like SD Guy, Diana Avani, you know, Brent, Blueheart, all these other guys that have been commenting on my channel. I've been looking at their slot videos, and they post often, a lot more often than I've been posting lately. And it's kind of like a facade in a way, because we save up, or at least I do. Like I'll save up $20,000, $30,000, and I'll go on one big trip. Okay, like to Vegas. That's going to be like my strategy going forward. I used to go to a casino here locally, maybe 7,000, 6,000. So you go and you take like videos of like 300 slots, and like you gotta remember, you're not always losing money on every slot. You're going to be up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You could literally go into a casino with $100 and be up and down all freaking day. So, I mean, it looks like you're spending a shitload of money, but in reality, you're really not spending all that much at all. You're kind of just, like I said, up and down. You got to remember that in a casino, you're always going to be the loser. The casinos, over the long run, you know, the longer you sit, the more you'll lose. The general rule of thumb is 15% is going to be going to the casino. So expect to lose 15%. Now, that doesn't mean if you put $100 in a machine, you're going to get $85 back. It's just, this is over the long run. So I know it looks like it's that I'm spending a lot of money, but I'm really not. I went to Vegas, and what I brought, I expected to spend. When I say I barely put a dent in my money, like I really didn't. I was up on my trip, but I spent money doing other activities, and it's a good thing I spent money doing other activities, because I wouldn't have spent any money at all, because I was up and down and then up, up, up. Like I just happened to get lucky. I was up on my trip. But for my budget and what I came back with is enough for my next trip. So, I mean, like, it was fantastic. And I realize it does look like I spend a lot. You know, we sit at these machines, we do $15, $20 spins. Trust me, it's all up and down, up and down, up and down. And if you ever were to do the same thing, you'd realize, and especially for people playing at local casinos where your payback percentages might be significantly lower, you will see that difference going to Vegas. Like I could see the difference in the payback percentages from Casino New Brunswick to Las Vegas. And trust me, guys, fantastic. All right, next question here, favorite music. I used to like rap music back in the day whenever I was younger. For no specific reason. I just liked the beat, you know, like it was something that you can move your head to and stuff like that. Lately, well, actually, in the last few years, I haven't listened to any rap music at all. I just don't like the message in it, and especially after having kids, I just found a lot of it negative. Like, you know, talking about raping women and drugs and robbing people and killing people and stuff like that. That's not a message I want to, you know, invoke into my children. So, and although I still do like the beats, I don't like the message. So I just refuse to listen to it. I don't refuse to listen to it. I just don't go out of my way to listen to it. If it's on the radio, I'll listen to it. But I don't go and buy a CD and rap music and put it in my CD player. I do like rock and roll. I'm a sucker for rock and roll. I've always loved rock and roll. AC/DC is a very good band that comes to mind. I listen to AC/DC a lot. And another band called Demon Hunter. They are a Christian rock metal band, and they're not overly heavy. If you listen to their latest CD called Extremist, it's actually very melodic, very nice guitar riffs in there. And you know what? They're great guys overall. I've spoken to them quite a few times, and remarkable music. So yeah, favorite music I'd have to say is good old rock and roll. Next question. What other hobbies do you have? Well, it's hard for me to find time for hobbies, to be honest. Like I said, I do get really busy with my work, my kids, you know, I have a family, stuff like that. But I do enjoy boxing. I am a boxer. I do enjoy weightlifting. I know it doesn't look like it. That was actually another question that I was going to answer, but I'll just answer it in this one. I mentioned often that I'm a weightlifter, but people said, you don't look like a weightlifter. And you know what? You're absolutely right, because I'm on the biggest and worst bulk cycle I've ever been on in my life. I'm still trying to put weight on. I'm trying to get up to 250 pounds here. Right now I'm sitting at 230, so I still got another 20 pounds to go. Whenever you power lift and whenever you bulk, your physique goes right out the door. You're focusing on lifting really heavy for maybe 2 to 3 reps, 1 rep maxes and stuff like that, and about getting as much calories in your body as possible. And I try my best to eat clean, but I cannot eat 5,000 calories in boneless chicken breasts. Okay, I can't. I will be losing my guts all day long. A pound of oatmeal a day, sometimes a pound and a half of oatmeal a day. Brown rice, white rice, a lot of carbohydrates in my system. And you guys are right. I definitely do. I got the double chin going on. I definitely do not look like a bodybuilder. However, I am in the off season. A lot of bodybuilders call it the off season and the on season. Bulking, cutting, stuff like that. And also in my boxing, I am under contract for 2 other heavyweight fights. And now I could opt out of that contract and pay a penalty. It's no problem. But I'll take them as they come along, But yes, I am a bodybuilder, and I will show you some pictures down here. I'll let them slide along the bottom, just to kind of give you an idea of how I look in the off season. Now, the pictures that you're looking at now is me right around 7 to 8% body fat, maybe closer to 10, but probably right around 7 or 8% body fat. I've never competed in bodybuilding on a stage, but I do take it seriously. I like looking conditioned, especially in the summer months. It's just a great stress reliever for me, and it's a very positive aspect that you can add to your life. If you feel sick for any reason, unhealthy, depression. Sorry guys, difficulty there. In the middle of my video, one of my staff had called me, so I had to take that phone call. So I have to split this in 2. Sorry about that. So yeah, getting back to the bodybuilding and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're like depressed or if you're just unhealthy or you feel like you need a positive change in your life, you can add bodybuilding onto your list. And you don't have to go crazy with it with all the crazy diets and stuff. Just getting to the gym and lifting, becoming stronger and healthier will have a very big impact on your life. You'll find that just overall you'll be a lot more positive about a lot more things. And it's a great thing to do, guys. Me, on the other hand, I do go crazy with the diets. I like to think I'm pretty strict with my training regimen as well. But it never really gets to the point of being professional, because being a boxer completely ruins your bodybuilding, I guess. Not really ruins it, but it's hard to maintain a certain weight in bodybuilding when you're up and down for fights all the time. You got to make weight for fights, Just in a good boxing workout, you're going to burn like 2,000 calories over a 24-hour period. So you got to eat like a horse. It's all complicated stuff. I don't really want to confuse you guys with that. But yeah, those are my hobbies, fighting and boxing. I could say collecting autographs and stuff like that. Like, I'm a collector too. I guess I could say that. Next question, where do you live? Well, I'm not going to get specific. Like I said, I'm trying to maintain my private life as best I can, because I do know that there is people out there that don't have the best intentions, that'll do anything they can to piss you off or make your life hell. But I will say that I do live in New Brunswick, the province of New Brunswick in Canada. We're one of the smallest provinces in Canada, and if you look at in the terms of our size, we're not very populated. The entire province of New Brunswick has right around 750,000 people, so not even 1 million people there. The city of Las Vegas itself has 2 million people, so well over 2 times the population than our entire province. So yeah, not really much here in the province, unfortunately. What do you drive? Again, not really a personal question. I guess I can answer. That's pretty cool. Actually, I really not too fancy overall. We drive a 2016 GMC Acadia, fully loaded. It's a nice car. We are family people, and it's an 8-seater. It gets the job done. It's not a Mercedes or whatever. I used to own a Mercedes. Didn't really care for it all that much. My wife also drives a Volkswagen Beetle, nice Standard. I like driving a Standard too. I also drive a 1967 Camaro RSSS. It's a completely restored model. Not a spot of rust on it. Completely restored, frame off. I'll have some pictures here for you guys, just kind of sliding through. What you're looking at is indeed a 67 Camaro RSSS. It is a documented Camaro RSSS. Throughout the restoration process, there were some minor changes that were done to the car. You open the hood, there's not a spot of grease on the 350 engine, and interior is flawless. The car was done right, and that's one of my babies. I also own a 1971 Chevelle. It's not an SS, unfortunately. It's just the regular Chevelle Malibu, and it has the L78 396 big block engine. Again, no grease under the hood, very well done. And that one there is putting out right around 375 horsepower stock, but again, we played around with it. I think we got it right around 425 now. So I do love my toys in the summertime. I do take them to various car shows and stuff like that, and just overall appreciate the older cars. And I'm trying to, well, I'm not trying to, but I'm looking for another older car that I would like to purchase. Hard to find. If you can find a 68, 69 Stingray, they're just tough overall. And you want to get, I like to get them in restored condition, because one, if you pay for a restoration yourself, oh my God, like the Camaro that I have has over $100,000 invested in the restoration. You heard that right, over $100,000 in restoration. I know, because I have all the receipts. Now the guy that I bought the car from is the one who did all that work. Do you think he got back his investment? No. So I try to buy them restored. But I try to buy them documented. You know what I mean? You don't want to buy something and take somebody's word on it, because you might get yourself in a little bit of trouble. Anyway, that's what I drive. Do I have kids? Yeah. I like to think I mentioned that a few times in previous videos. But yes, I do have 2 kids. I have 2 boys. And they are my world. My family is the most important thing in my life, above my work, above it, all else. And they're healthy little troublemaking kids, and I love them to death. What health problems are you dealing with? Now, I know I mentioned in a few other videos that I do battle some health problems, and they are affecting my life. Yes. I suffer from 2 different problems with the ears. The first one is eustachian tube dysfunction, and the second one is Meniere's disease. Now, I guess I got really unlucky getting both. If you were to look at the percentage of the population that suffer from both of those, you're looking at like 0.001 or something like that. Pretty much the same percentage as hitting a major jackpot on a slot machine. Basically, eustachian tube dysfunction is you have a little tube that runs from your ears, your middle ear, to your throat. And for all of you guys who eat, you know, when you swallow, you might hear a clicking sound in your ear. That is your eustachian tubes opening up and allowing fluid to drain from the middle ear to your throat. And that's how a normal eustachian tube would work, of course. Every time you swallow, every time you yawn, even for people who have really good eustachian tubes, even just moving your jaw around like that will allow those tubes to open and allow fluid to drain. It's just, it equalizes pressure into your middle ear. Now, a good example of that would be if you're ever on an elevator, if you're ever on an airplane, or if you're going up and down quickly, you'll notice that your ears start to build pressure, and then when you swallow, they pop. Now, for people with eustachian tube dysfunction, our tubes are blocked. So when we swallow, it doesn't open them. So fluid builds up in here, and it makes it very hard to hear. Actually, if you want to, I don't have it all the time. My eustachian tube dysfunction is actually quite mild, but every once in a while, it'll feel like I hear underwater. Now, if you want to know what I mean, plug your ears, just take and push on this part of your ear, on both sides, and chew and speak. Feels like you're underwater. That's what I deal with sometimes. Also, a lot of pain, because if I'm ever on an elevator, if I'm changing, like even when you're driving, you're going up and down, the pressure builds in your ears, and you can't relieve that pressure. So it really, really starts to hurt. And I have to usually do what's called the Valsalva maneuver, which is holding your nose and trying to pop them. So I do that quite often. I do that a few times a day. But very manageable, guys, and I try not to dwell on what's wrong in my life, and I like to focus on the positive aspects of my life, because you don't want to, you live once, you only live once. What's the use on being just torn up your entire life? Fuck that menial bullshit, move forward and look at the positive, okay? Now, Meniere's disease is vertigo. It's just vertigo caused by your auditory nerve. And mine is very mild. Again, I do get bouts of vertigo, don't get me wrong. Oh my God, sometimes you gotta stop, grab onto something, and hold on for dear life, because the world is turning. And I guess I feel fortunate because Meniere's disease is a progressive disease, which means that it'll get worse. And there's some people that have Meniere's disease right now who suffer these vertigo bouts for 3, 4, 5 days long. You can't eat when you're spinning because you'll just throw up. What those people do is they curl up into like the fetal position in their bed, turn all the lights off, and just close their eyes and cry. That's tough. And for all of you guys going through that, I can't say I understand. You know, I suffer very minor bouts of it, but my heart goes out to you. You know, and I really, really hope that a cure can be found. There has been some science, like with stem cell research, that is showing some, I don't want to say, it's not curing it. It is showing promise, but it's not, there's no cure that's, you know, a definitive answer. Now, there is a cure actually, but it requires them pulling your auditory nerve right out, and you're going to be completely deaf for the rest of your life. Now, that might be okay to some people when you give them the option. Be, you know, suffering vertigo really bad for 5 days at a time, or be deaf. Being deaf might be the answer for them. For someone like me, no, I want to be able to hear. I want to listen to my kids. I want to hear my grandkids giggle for the first time. Like, you know, it's those small things in life that we take for granted that when you don't have them, I could never imagine, you know. One of my best friends suffers from an eye disease called retinal pigmentosa. Retinitis pigmentosa. It's a deterioration of the eyes. And he'll walk towards me and he'll bump right into me. He'll, bam, plow right into me. And just because he can't see me, like, that's got to be tough, you know. And it's, again, retinitis pigmentosa is a progressive disease where you'll eventually just be completely blind, you know. I can't get over that. I can't believe that he's suffering that. And again, I really hope, you know, and wish the best for him. And there's really not much more you can do except for to be there to support them when, you know, when they're down like that. And I like to think that with all the suffering in the world and all the diseases, that I got it pretty easy, and I don't take anything I have for granted. So yeah, there you go. That's the health problems I'm dealing with. And the last question I have here, finally, guys, after like almost 30 minutes, I think I'm close to 30 minutes here. What was my favorite memory in Las Vegas? It's so funny. When you get back from Vegas, you can't, everything comes at you. Maybe your second and third, fourth time that you're there, it kind of becomes like routine, but it's like I was never there. It's almost like a dream. You don't really think of one particular memory. You can't pinpoint one specific instance that kind of hits you. I remember the Hoover Dam. You know what I mean? Like, that was really awesome. You know, I would just have to say, like, the collective memory of Las Vegas, just being there. You know what I mean? Like, walking around the strip with my wife and exploring this. Vegas is like an entirely different planet. It's like once you're there, everything you knew is out the door. It's out the window, you know? It's like this is a whole new life and a whole new experience. And it might sound cliche, you know, but I guess you won't understand that until you go yourself, especially if it's your first time. You'll understand that as soon as you get into the airport, or actually as soon as you get out of the airport. To me, airports and traveling is a negative experience. When you're out of that airport, you get in the limo or the taxi and you're on your way to your hotel, that's when the experience starts. You start, especially if you're traveling, like when we traveled, we were towards the end of October, so, or no, we were right around the beginning of October, sorry. And, but still where we are, quite cold at that time, you know, you're just a little bit above freezing. And I mean, you go to Vegas, even if you're in Vegas in February, you're still looking at decent weather. The palm trees, the weather, like everything is so different. Then you hit the strip, and then it's like you're right into some sort of a fantasy land, and it's very hard to explain, but you forget everything. You forget everything. You forget your problems. You forget everything. you just know that you're in Las Vegas. It's different, and I mean, it's such an experience. I really don't know how to explain it, and to pick one specific memory in Vegas is almost impossible. People can say, "Oh, it was the time I won that big jackpot. That was a great memory," or whatnot. I didn't win any jackpots. You know, I won big amounts, and yeah, those were great. Is it my best memory though? No, not at all. I don't look at money as a memory. I look at money as a means to live and a means to entertain in this case. But as a memory, no. Like I said, just exploring the Strip was amazing. Going to the Hoover Dam, you know, money comes and goes. Memories and things that you put in your heart will stay there forever. So yeah, just being on the Strip with my wife and having a great time like we did, and just experiencing that together for the first time means a heck of a lot to me. None of you guys know this, but my wife is my childhood sweetheart. We were neighbors since we were like 9 years old, and I mean, we're together now. You know what I mean? So the fact that we've come all this way and we're able to share these things together for the first time is a memory in itself, and it's something I truly appreciate and will appreciate till my last day. And yeah, so maybe you guys can let me know how your first trip to Vegas was and what your favorite memory was in the comment section below. And if you have any other questions, just drop them below, guys. So I'm going to close this with saying that, again, I apologize for the long wait. I will have a few hours here and there in the next week, but then as we get closer to Christmas, especially the week and the 2 weeks before Christmas, it gets amazingly hectic. I'll be in the store for 65, maybe even 70 hours a week. I won't have very much time to edit any videos at all, so there might be quite a void there. And after it's all done though, the Christmas and the New Year's and maybe in the first week of January, I'm going to start working on my Journey to Vegas Part 4 and getting more live plays on, guys. Trust me, I have a lot of videos here that I have to get uploaded before my next trip, and I better start hauling ass if I want to get that done. And so you better bet that I'm motivated to get this stuff uploaded. I still have a lot of videos to go here. So look forward to that, guys. Again, thank you so much for everything. All the wonderful conversations I've been having with people, the suggestions, and the connection, okay? And if you don't see my mug here before Christmas, I'd like to wish you and yours a very safe and a very happy and merry Christmas. I hope you experience lots of love, lots of positivity, and have a great New Year's. You know, something bad happened this year, leave it in this year. Look forward to a great new 2017, and like I said, be the change that you want to see in the world, and you will have a great year, okay? So peace and love, and we will see you as soon as I see you. Have a good one.